Hi, everybody. So this video is going to be for the week of April 6th and also for next week. And so that's because we have a long weekend. We have Friday, April 10th off, and we have Monday, April 13th off. So this video is going to count for the next 2 weeks. Okay. And I'm gonna let my poor suffering dog down now. I'm gonna try and mix up an outfit in the beginning of each video just to keep life interesting for you guys. Okay, so this video is going up for this week and next. The next thing I want to bring your attention to is that from here on out, I'm going to try and use Google Meet. That's the recommendation of our tech committee. And so the session times I'm going to keep the same, but I'm just going to use a new platform for that. So Google Meet sessions happening this week will be Tuesday, April 7th, and that's 9:30 grade 7, 10:30 grade 8, 11:30 grade 9, and then once again Thursday, April 9th at 1:30, open up to all grades if they have to ask questions. So I'm going to be troubleshooting Google Meet a little bit with you guys, but my plan is that I'm going to send out an invitation through your email, and then I'll post as well the link to your Google Classroom that morning. So I'm planning on sending out the email invites for Tuesday on Monday, probably when you're watching this. And so check your email before the end of the day just to check that you have that email invite. And I'll also post it in Google Classroom. So you access it just by clicking the link. And if there's trouble, there's also a phone option too, but you should be able to just click the link and be in the Google Classroom, in the Google Meet room. So we'll see how that goes. So same times, just instead of Zoom, it's Google Meet. And the reasoning for that is it's just a more secure network. That's all. So, what are you doing for science this week? So, I have you creating a Rube Goldberg machine. And so, if you're like, what? What does that mean? So, I'll give you a little more history on Rube Goldberg in our meeting on Tuesday morning. But essentially, I like this quote of Rube Goldberg. It's that he knew how to get from A to B using every letter of the alphabet. So it's completing a simple task in a complicated way. And if you're still not sure exactly what I'm talking about, it's where you are designing a series of actions where you ultimately will yield a goal. And I have a bunch of videos that shows you some examples of that. But a Rube Goldberg machine completes a simple task in a complicated way. So this is a great chance to get creative while you're stuck in the house and think about why certain parts of your machine act in certain ways. So you can make this as simple or as complicated as you deem fit, given the resources that you have available to you. I'm giving you some extra time for this. So because you have the Friday and the Monday off, I'm going to give you till next Friday to complete this Rube Goldberg machine. So this can look different for different people. And for some of you who are sharing a house with a sibling, I am doing this in grade 7, 8, 9. So you can feel free to work with your sibling to create this Rube Goldberg machine as well. So just to give you an example of what this looks like. So I have a picture here. So this would be an example of trying to put a sugar cube in coffee. So it's a combination of, we have we have different mechanisms that yield getting the sugar cube in the coffee. And I have some videos that show you what I mean by this. So you're creating a bunch of different actions and reactions in terms of trying to get something to happen. So think about what forces cause things to move and what you might be able to create in your house in order to yield a certain task. So I have an example here of somebody thought of, I want to feed the dog, right? And so I have a picture or a video of somebody trying to feed their dog. So just to give you an idea of what I mean by this machine. So there's just this kid, he set up this contraption. I don't know, you probably can't hear this because I have my headphones in, but he's created, if you have access to dominoes, this is a great way in order to move the action forward. He has books, he has a ping pong ball, he has some blocks available. So his goal is he wanted to feed the dog. And so he has this whole big setup in order to try and have that happen. So, yes, he could obviously just take his hand and pour the dog food into the bowl, but this is a much more creative way. And eventually, depending on your grade level, we can talk about why some of these things are happening. So, if you look here, he has his whole setup with the intention of all of these cause the next thing to happen, which then has the dog food fall into the bowl. So, just to show it working, I totally skipped ahead. You have the link here, but he has his phone that vibrates, and then the vibrating phone hits the domino eventually. Then the dominoes have some ramps and have the car that moves, and then eventually the dog food gets knocked over. So this is just an example of one type of Rube Goldberg machine, but you could be as complicated or as simple as you deem fit. So there's some really amazing Rube Goldberg machines out there, and definitely take a look at the links before you start anything. But this could be as simple as lining up couch cushions and knocking down couch cushions in order to move a ball, which then moves something else. This could be as simple as being outside and having sticks lined up in a row, and this could be as simple as having a basketball that then hits something else which merits that knocking over. So there's all sorts of things that you could do. I'm leaving this purposely open-ended so that you have lots of different options of what you could be doing. But definitely don't get freaked out by this. Keep it as simple, as basic as needed, or you could actually really get complicated with this too, depending on what time you have, what resources you have available in your house, right? So definitely take a look at the different videos here. So once again, I've showed this to some of you already, but I have the OK Go video, This Too Shall Pass, where they have a great Rube Goldberg machine and a great video. There's also a very complicated mechanism for somebody who's passing the salt. Then there's some really basic ideas here too for feeding the dog. And then this next one is just ideas of what you could use in your Rube Goldberg machine. So once again, don't get overwhelmed with this. You have almost 2 weeks. Just think about what you have in your house and what you could do for this, okay? So when you do get your Rube Goldberg machine completed, ideally, you would share with me a video of it in action, and you could send that either by email or Google Drive to my email that's posted there. But if the video is not working, or maybe you try the Rube Goldberg machine and it's a total epic fail, which is actually okay too. So maybe you try it and it just doesn't work. So you can, once again, record it not working, and then you could think about why it might not have worked afterwards. And you could also just take a picture of your setup, is fine too. Okay, if you do work with somebody else and you create the setup together, so like if you have a sibling in the house and you're both working on the same project, it probably makes sense for you not to create it in two different areas. Then you can just reference that, who you worked with when you submit these questions. So if the video poses an issue, because technology, sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't, then it's totally fine to just snap a picture and send that to me. And also it's fine to not if technology just is not working. Okay, so the next thing is you're just thinking about what went well, and you think about what challenges that you might overcome if you were to do this again. So build it. Think about what went well, think about what you could improve on. And those questions will be submitted for Friday, April 17th. And then the Rube Goldberg machine I have to be completed by Thursday, April 16th. So you've got some time to think about what you have access to, how you might approach this, and what it could end up looking like in the end. Okay, so this aligns really well with the structures unit. It less aligns with chemistry, but also is a great way to think about how things affect everything else and looking at the big picture and getting creative and problem solving and trying to find a way to yield the potential goal that you have set for yourself. So there's a lot of great learning I think that can happen from this. Please make sure that the area you use in your house is appropriate and that your parents are okay with you taking up that area to create this Rube Goldberg machine. So don't take up like your whole living room if your parents aren't okay with it. Make sure that you have a space, that you can build it, that is okay with your parents, and that you can kind of plug away at this as necessary over the next while. So then I have français. So once again, if you don't understand everything I'm saying here, then make sure that you look at the English that instructions that are written underneath, but please do your best to follow along in French and to actually replay the video. Take a look at whatever time it is right now, and then you can re-go back to the spot if needed to try and figure out what I'm saying en français. So, pour le français, fais des listes de chansons venant des différentes régions francophones et joue-les en mangeant un repas. Choisis 3 jours pendant les 2 semaines prochaines et joue une de tes listes de chansons à chacun de ces jours. Voici un exemple. Alors, vous pouvez choisir mercredi le 8 avril, jeudi le 9 avril, mercredi le 15 avril. Et voici les différents listes des chansons. Alors, Québec, Acadien, peut-être les provinces de l'Atlantique ou France. Okay? Il y a tellement de choix des différentes régions francophones autour du monde, avec tant de musique magnifique. Je t'encourage donc à faire des recherches d'abord et ensuite fais tes listes de chansons. Après, réponds aux questions suivantes d'ici à vendredi le 17 avril. Alors, comme la science, ceci c'est aussi pour vendredi le 17 avril. Alors, voici à répondre. Partage tes listes de chansons avec moi en identifiant les régions d'où elles viennent. Voici un exemple de comment votre liste des chansons peut être comme ça. Aussi, donne une critique de chacune de tes listes de chansons. Si possible, demande aussi à tes parents de te donner une critique, si c'est possible. Est-ce que leur critique ressemble ou diffère de la tienne et comment? Pense à la musique que tu aimes et écoute régulièrement. Comment est-ce que tes listes de chansons comparent à ta musique préférée? Est-ce qu'il y a des groupes musicaux ou chanteurs, chanteuses que tu as bien aimés? OK, alors c'est tout. So for science, Rube Goldberg machine, and for French, you're creating your playlists of different regions and having some lovely music while you're enjoying supper. All right. Or it doesn't have to be supper, any meal. All right. So creating those playlists, aim for 3 from 3 different regions. And I have the example set out there in the instructions in English if you need it. And then for science, Rube Goldberg machine. So once again, I'll be available Tuesday morning if you have more questions about this. And I'm going to do my best to record those sessions. I don't know exactly what that might look like. I'm going to try it this week. It could be successful. It could be a fail. So if I'm successful, I can post it in Google Classroom. And if not, then I'll keep working at it and try to figure it out for after your break the following week. All right. So you have this that is due Thursday, April 16th for the Rube Goldberg machine to actually finish it. And then to create those playlists for Thursday, April 16th. And then the reflection questions for each are due the following Friday, Friday, April 17th. Okay, so good luck. And once again, just reach out if you have any questions. So just do your best. And I look forward to seeing what you create. Okay, that's it. Bye.